You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle.
This is a DC to B episode, so that means that somebody on the other end of this interview will be a doctor of chiropractic in the future. I am Jim Chester, your host of the Chiro Hustle podcast, and this is a live stream that's brought to you by Pure Chiro Notes. If you guys are a membership style practice and want to simplify your matters of practice with good note systems, reach out to Dwayne Hoskins or Matt Musgrave, and they can help you out with Pure Chiro Notes. But I have a really awesome person on the other end of the interview. Her name is Carrie McDowall. She is coming all the way from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And we're going to get right into like the heart of the matter. We're going to talk about chiropractic in Australia. And I didn't know this, but the pre-interview chat, she comes from a massive chiropractic family. So we're going to share a little bit about that. But first and foremost, why chiropractic? Why did you pick chiropractic, and what's it look like for you right now?
Thanks, Jim. I picked chiropractic because, as you said, I'm from a large chiropractic family. My father is a Palmer grad and his father's a Palmer grad, and I actually went over to Devonport with him when I was 8 to a big conference, and ever since I was little I just wanted to be a chiropractor, and I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather do at all. So it was just the only thing I ever wanted to be growing up. And of course I want to be like my dad. I could see how many people he helped, and I just wanted to help people like he did. And I felt like I missed my boat. I felt like out of school I wasn't smart enough, and there was a lot of competition to get into the schools here. There was only a couple at the time. And finally, I grew up, I had a family and 5 children, and felt like, well, I'll just do massage. And, I just kind of massaged with the heart of a chiropractor, but I felt like I was helping people with one hand tied behind my back. Like I knew there was so much more I could give. And I just needed to find the courage to do that. And I grew up feeling like I just needed male support to be able to do those kinds of things. And for some reason, I was waiting for a man to support me, and that never happened. And I thought one day, I'm just going to do it myself. And I did. And I was like, I didn't need a man that whole time. It was really weird. It's like my self-limiting beliefs. I enrolled. I got in straight away. And I'm in my 3rd year now, and it's been the best thing I've ever done. And ever since I, made that change and joined to do what my heart's desire, everything has just accelerated for me in life. So I'm definitely on the right path. It just took me ages to find it.
No. It's fun to hear it because, we're really celebrating the women's voice in chiropractic right now with the Chiro Hustle podcast. And we're doing live stream interviews to the point that we're going to be pushing out an interview a day for the next year. So we're really turning the crank, if you will, to push out more information about chiropractic. But your story, what you just said, was quite amazing, that you thought it took someone else to support you. And really, the support comes from inside. And if anybody ever wants to take that leap of faith and jump into a program, whether it's chiropractic or journalism or video editing or whatever it might be, whatever occupation you think is the best for you, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of initiative within us. And, I'm so happy to hear that you say that you believed in yourself and you just started doing it. It's the best decision you ever did. So yeah, I think that's it's brilliant. So let's talk a little bit about the school that you chose and a little bit what's going on with the tone of chiropractic at that school.
Okay, so the school I chose, I chose the school because of the area I lived in. I didn't go to live somewhere to go to a prestigious university. So they're in the major cities, but the one I go to is called CQU, or Central Queensland University. I almost forgot the name of it. We're on term break now, so I haven't been there in a little while. The university's been there for a while, but the program's only new, and they've only introduced it. I think this is the 6th year that it's been running, but the 4th or 5th year that we've had it in Brisbane. So it was, when something's new, it's everyone's still trying to work out what they're doing, and the students that are coming through now this year will have it so much better than the previous ones did, because they've already worked out where they need to, fix and adjust things, which is really good. So far, I'm in a 3rd year class, which is the final year of our Bachelor of Science this year. So I'm going to graduate at the end of this year with a degree, and then I've got 2 years Masters after that. And we have a really wide range of lecturers at our university. So unlike a lot of colleges in the States, I know Sherman and Life and, I don't know, maybe a couple others, they have a very heavy philosophy content for the chiropractic students. But in Australia, we don't have that offered as much as you do in the States. So being a 1st year student, I pretty much cried my way through my 1st year of university, because I felt like I was just becoming a physiotherapist. And I was like, man, I'm already a massage therapist. I don't want to have to, I want what my dad is. I want what I know chiropractic is. And we were just learning how to palpate and touch. And I was like, but what about the philosophy? What about the history? What about all that richness? So finally, there were some changes made with the lecturers and the different people who head the different areas, and they're going to be introducing philosophy, which is really amazing. So I'm super excited about that.
Well, it's encouraging, and it sounds like, we still have a long ways to go with proper chiropractic education, whatever school it's at. And I think that's one of the reasons we're doing these interviews, is to maybe expose some of the weaknesses, but also the strengths. And we're talking about things that the audience might be interested in. And those are the struggles and the desires of a young DC and what it takes to jump into a program. So let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing to prepare yourself for this opportunity to become a chiropractic student and for your next 2 years in the program.
Oh, preparation's everything, especially when you're a single mom with 5 kids. Like, I've got to prioritize my study, but then I have to make money on the side and have a social life. I got to keep up with my young uni friends. But anyway, and I run a couple of online side hustles as well. So I really I have this great future that I can see for myself. And that takes a lot of planning and a lot of foresight. So with preparation, I'm up early. So I study while the kids are still asleep, because it's nice and quiet. Because once they're up, it's all over. And then I just choose my work hours. So I only work during school hours. So while they're at school, I go off and I massage. And then they come home, and then I'm a mum for the evening until they're in bed, and then I'm a student again. And that's in the holidays. So, but while we're on, during our actual study, we get 2 semesters a year during our bachelor's. And that's normally, a lot of it's online. So I'm really fortunate that way, but we do have some on-campus practical hours. So I need to travel 1 hour on the train to the city to get to the university, and we might only be there 2 hours, sometimes 4 hours, and then we travel home for another hour.
So how do you find time to do this interview?
This is my day off. I push you in.
No, I appreciate you finding time to share your story, because I think that, number one, like I said, that you're the student, you're the DC to be, but number two, you have a woman's voice. And I think that more people need to hear the woman's voice in the chiropractic world. And, a stat that's been kind of brought up to our attention over recent months is 50% of all students enrolled in chiropractic colleges are females. And I do think that, as this profession develops into the port of entry for healthcare, that the woman practitioner will have a stronger voice in the future of chiropractic. And if anybody knows that the woman is the decision maker for the families, I mean, obviously, if you're a single person that's running the family, you are the decision maker. But in the zone where you find a man and a woman raising families, women always make the health choices for the families. So the more that we get integrated with the chiropractic unity of the woman in the chiropractic world, it's going to be a stronger profession as we go forward, especially when we start sharing the stories on these interviews, which I think is it's brilliant that you agreed to do the interview with us. But let's switch gears just a little bit, and let's talk more about what is going on with the state of consciousness with chiropractic in Australia.
Okay, so from my perspective, from a student perspective, I have a lot of friends who are chiropractors here in Australia, and the general feel, especially for students, for my colleagues at uni, and this is just my opinion, so hopefully I'm not going to upset anybody, but I feel like not a lot of students know that there's two sides to chiropractic. They come into uni and they know one side and they think that's the side, and then they get there and their eyes are open and they realize there's two sides, and they don't know that there's infighting until they see the infighting, and they think, why are we fighting with each other? We're all trying to do the same thing. So, basically there's that, the mechanistic or the vitalistic, and at uni they did touch on that a little bit. They introduced that as a concept and then they left it there. I didn't know there was a mechanistic, so I was so naive. I'm like this 35-year-old mature age student thinking all chiros are vitalistic because that's all I ever knew. So that was a really big eye-opener for me. And then I realized that chiropractors, some of the worst for fighting with each other, and when there's official complaints made, it's by other chiropractors. And I don't know, I feel like it gives us a bad name and makes us look like a bit of a joke in the profession where we're trying to compete with medical doctors and other medical professionals, but we're still seen as snake oil salesmen. And that is just like a recent post on one of our universities just started to advertise for our program on Facebook, and it's a cute little video. And underneath there's some comments, and they often get deleted by the admin, but they're all negative, and they're all like, why would you want to do that course? Oh, they're all snake oil salesmen. Go become a real doctor, and like really bad negative comments. And obviously these are people who have no idea what they're talking about, trolls, or they just have had a poor experience with somebody in the past or know someone, So seeing things like that, I don't know any other profession where you go and do a 5-year university degree and just as many hours as a medical doctor, but you're still not taken seriously by the community. So that's really disheartening. And I think the millennials that are coming through as students now, they're going to be the ones who stand up and make that change, because millennials have a different energetic approach to things that are more innate rather than, the older Gen Y and Gen X kind of people. So I think it's really important. And the chiros that are out there now are trying to pave the way for these new students coming through. But there's still always, it's going to be like a battle that you can never win. It's just going to be, it's like the vaccination debate, or, it's just always going to be very heavy opinions on both sides. And I think what we're told as students is get in there, learn what you need to get your qualification. And when you get out of uni, you can go into the field that you want to focus on, whether it be pediatrics or sport or, quantum physics or, anything like that. But just, get your basis, get your degree, get your qualification, and then focus on what kind of chiropractor you want to be after uni. So that's pretty much what we're doing now.
So what you're saying is the dogma has spoiled the perception of the profession a little bit over in Australia, and we need to work to rebrand and to focus on the positive aspects of the profession and let the naysayers stay in their camp and support what is real chiropractic, which is delivering care to people and saving their lives from drugs and surgery. And I think that's what you're saying, is that the camp that's already in disagreement with the future of chiropractic, they've already been bought and sold, and let them stay bought and sold and keep their opinions to themselves. And let's just keep on producing good qualified chiropractors in Australia that go out there and serve their communities.
Yeah, absolutely. You couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. So, listening to you, it gives me a lot of hope, though. It lets me know that there is still a unified front that is considerate of the history and of the philosophy and of the art and of the science. And I know that earlier on you touched on that you come from a family of 9. You'll be the 9th chiropractor. And I know that you said that you have a 16-year-old that's going to be 17 soon. And I would have never guessed that you were even old enough to have kids.
I hear that a lot.
So for you to tell me that you have a 16-year-old that's turning 17 soon, let's talk a little bit about that story, because I know that might inspire some people out there, especially those that have kids that are thinking about a career in chiropractic as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So my daughter, I feel like I've passed it through my DNA into her. So she has the magic touch already. I've already showed her how to give me a nice big wing lift when I've been studying too long and I get tech neck. And she's just perfect. She just knows exactly what to do. My kids have had chiropractic care since they were little, I don't know, maybe the first week of being born. And, without that in our family, I don't know where we'd be right now. So it's really been a very important part of our lives. And all my kids are chiro kids. Lilia, she's so smart. Thank God she's got her father's brains and not mine. But she's got my good looks, by the way. Anyway, she will be hopefully attending the university that I'm at. So when she enrolls, I'll be in my final year. So we will be there for at least 1 year together, which will be amazing. So she can get there straight from high school. So she's still only going to be 17 and a half when she's at university, which in Queensland is quite normal. They're not even adults yet, really. So she's quite looking forward to that.
And that's quite interesting to me because, in our society, you have to finish up with your undergrad, which you're usually about 22 or 23 by the time you finish your university. And then you get into graduate school, which then takes another 3 years. So I don't know, I can't ballpark it, but I think that the normal chiropractic student that comes out of school in the States is into their late 20s.
Oh, yeah. So we could come out at 22, 23, fully qualified chiropractic doctor.
That is something that's special. I think that's some information I didn't know before. And I know that right now we had Billy Chow on the live with us for a while. He might still be on with us, but I know that they're starting a top-notch school over there somewhere in Australia that's going to be really supporting the vitalistic and the philosophical approach to chiropractic care. So I don't know what's going on in most of the schools over there. Actually, I don't even know the pulse of the communication. I just know that you guys can't use celebrity endorsements or video testimonials to promote your chiropractic. Is that right?
Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions on advertising. We can't have patients leave a Facebook review. there's a lot of restrictions on web-based advertising, even signs that we put up out the front of the clinic. So it all has to comply with a set of rules, and that's designed to keep everybody protected. So we follow that very strictly, and we just have to work out other ways to get our message out there, and we need to be compliant. Yeah. There's a lot of chiropractors, I don't know, I'm making this up, but maybe there's some chiropractors, you know, who get deregistered for going outside that because they feel like it's that they, you know, they might be rebellious and want to get their message out. But if you want to keep your license, you have to follow the rules. Yeah, it's not as easy.
We need to tear that wall down. And that's something that's serious when it comes to the promotion of an industry that serves people. And, you know, I talked to a couple Australian chiropractors. I'm like, I just want to come over and be the Yankee that goes around and promotes chiropractic. That's not a chiropractor, that tells everybody the truth about the profession and really stirs up the pot and discredit me. Fine. But to discredit a profession that serves humanity and to tell them that their hands are tied behind their back and how they can promote their practice and what their belief systems are and having support of the people that they take care of, that's like a very one-sided approach to an industry that I think really, really serves humanity at the maximum level. So I think it's a huge disservice. And when I heard about it from day one, I just started to boil my blood. And I'm like, this isn't fair to the profession. It isn't fair to the people that deserve care. And it really discredits the validity of the true message behind what people are doing. And I've even heard to the point where they'll go in and they'll investigate like your chat feed within your the paradigm of your communication on your Facebook. And if you have somebody saying something that doesn't go with the flow, they'll slap your hand for that. And I think that's just awful.
Yeah, there's a lot of keywords that you can't mention. So we just keep it really strict. We basically keep it to, you know, that we help with back pain, that we can help with migraines, and that we can help with neck pain. And that's about it.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a major proponent for the future of the freedom of speech with chiropractic over there in Australia. And I'm going to do my best to bring some lightness to the profession to where people don't feel like you have to become a mechanistic communicator in order to get people better through something that is vitalistic, that isn't anything to do with what it's portrayed to say. And I think that you know, even when I heard about the baby adjusting like a year ago and about how you know, that guy got slapped on his hand for producing a video about taking care of babies. I think that, you know, even like you said, my children were checked within a week of being born. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, sorry for me to go down the rabbit hole of frustration, but bringing that up to my attention, it just made my blood boil a little bit about how they regulate the practitioner over there. And I think that we need to campaign harder and some type of petition to get the freedom of speech for chiropractic the way it should be worldwide. And I don't think that there's any relevancy with anybody other than the people that hold their finger on the pulse of the drug industry. And I think that those are the ones that are lambasting the people with the truth of chiropractic. And I think it's a shame.
Yeah. You said it really well.
And let's talk a little bit more. So in Queensland, how many chiropractors are there? Do you know? Do you have any rough idea how many people are practicing over there?
Oh, Billy would know that one.
Okay.
Maybe if he's still watching, you can type that in. I know that every year we have 1,500 new students and around 300 graduates, roughly, something like that. The market here is still a lot of people down the street haven't heard of chiropractic or even know what they do. So it's still really what's the word? Not well known still. So, and that's because, we can't really advertise. But, when you know what chiropractic is, you see it everywhere. But if you don't know what it is, you don't see it. It's like the serendipity complex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like the old saying, if you drive a Subaru, every car you see on the street's a Subaru. And,
yeah.
and let's switch gears a little bit and boil off some of my frustration within the conversation. And let's talk a little bit about your future. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years once you become a practitioner?
Oh, that's a really good question. Without sounding too overconfident, I actually see myself, running straight out of the gate as soon as I've graduated. I'm working on trying to collaborate with some practitioners at the moment to see if we can join forces and run a business. So by the time I've graduated, I'll actually already have an established client base, and then I can just start adjusting. So I don't have any time to waste. I'm already going to be 41 when I graduate, so I really need to pre-plan all of this before that all happens. So yeah, I really want to be working with like-minded people, supportive people, and people that you can trust, and people that want the same future as me, that I can move forward with, and reach out to those who really need chiropractic in their lives, who don't even know they need it, because sometimes you don't know what it was you were missing until you find it. So it's going to be exciting to be able to have the foundations laid down so that I can actually reach out to a lot of people and be able to invite them and show them what chiropractic's all about. I want to give service and do lots of good in this world, and I've always been like that. This is the perfect medium for me to be able to assist, opening people's eyes and helping them turn on their innate so that they can thrive in life.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely think that what you said is important. I think that establishing yourself ready for a career at an age that you feel like is a little bit late out of the gate, I think that that's a mindset thing. So I'm not going to, push you too hard on that. But, Tim McFadden, he said earlier in our comments, he's a huge supporter of the Chiro Hustle podcast. What did he say? He said, "Hey, Jim, you never said it about me. Don't I look too young to have kids?" But he said something a little bit more important. He said, "It's never too late to become a chiropractor. You didn't miss your boat. Awesome story." And that was early on in our interview. And another gal named Kim Johnson Smith says, "I'm 52, starting school in April. It's never too late." So those are words of encouragement from people on the live feed here. And I think that when you start realizing that we are like a community that can change the world, it's never too late to take your shield and your sword and go out there and protect the sacred trust. And it's never too late to go out there and serve your community with your healing hands. And I think that when you think about the world on that premise, it's never too late to make that change or to be the change that you want to be. And with that being said, let's go into some of the comments here and just say thank you to some of the people, and maybe we can spur a little conversation off of what they've said. Tim Schaub, he says, "Hey, you two watching from Homer, New York." And let's just go into Tim. Let's talk about Tim for a moment. He is one of the founders of the Chiro Sushi Summit, and I know that you'll be taking a flight over the summer and joining us in Las Vegas in June. I think it's the 22nd, 23rd, or 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. It's in June sometime. You probably know better than me.
Yeah, it's in my summer break. It's perfect timing. So we'll be coming over. I can't wait. Can't wait to meet everybody.
And you get a chance to meet the Chiro Sushi family and to be inspired with different ideas about entrepreneurship and clinic growth and how we can actually become business people in the chiropractic paradigm, which I think is going to be invaluable with what they're doing. And are you familiar with Dr. Daniel Bay?
Yes.
Okay, so he is with Close for Chiro. They're also a massive supporter and sponsor of the Chiro Hustle podcast. And he says, Chester time down under in the house. So I don't know what we can say about that other than it's Chester time right now in Australia, Chester Standard Time.
I like that.
And then we have Dr. Adrienne Laura. She goes, Carrie, ! Time 5. My fellow goddess.
I love Dr. Adrienne. Hello.
See, isn't it fun when you can like shout out to the people on the feed? It makes them feel ultra special and they feel like they're being recognized. And it's always nice to support those that support you. And Billy Chow, we did mention him. He says, hi, Carrie and Jim. Tom Potisk. Are you familiar with Tom?
Maybe. I have to see his face.
He runs a group called the Gonstead Guardians, and what they're doing
nice.
is they're rehabbing Clarence Gonstead's practice up in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. It's a non-for-profit that he runs, but they're really supporting the future of Mount Horeb Chiropractic, that Gonstead clinic up there. So shout out to Dr. Tom. And Heather Gillette Denniston says, hey, Jim, great to see you interviewing so many people. And you get it, Heather. That's the major premise of what I'm doing. My job is to bring the lightness of the truth of chiropractic to everybody that deserves it. And let's go on up. Tom says, where are you, Marcy McKenna? It seems that Marcy's on every live feed that I do. So, well, actually, we have. Oh, there she is. She just gave us a thumbs up. So she'll actually be one of the. She'll be one of our future interviews with the Chiro Hustle live stream. And we also have John D'Ambrosio, who suggested early on that I interviewed you, and I already had my my idea to get you on. So, Dr. John, thank you as well.
Thanks, Dr. John.
And Jennifer Trent says, no philosophy, no problem. We've got you covered. You come over to Dynamic Essentials, thumb drive after each meeting, which happens 4 times a year. Incredible philosophy. So if you wanted to get some good philosophy, go to DE, and that's Dynamic Essentials. And if you didn't know, you probably do know, coming from a large chiropractic family, that whole movement was started by Sid Williams.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Oh, you did. Okay.
I said that. I keep really up to date with everything. Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
I'm jumping a little off script, but it's nice to build to the conversation and invite people in with us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. So Kat Sarah, she is a huge supporter of what we're doing. She says the principle is universal. Everyone needs to be educated. And that's one of the reasons why I honestly feel compelled to come over there and just tour around the country and setting up workshops, talking to people about chiropractic, and let them discredit me all they want to, because, you know, there's no licensing for them to take from me except for the truth of what they're trying to discredit chiropractic for and the languaging that you use. And the only truth that they know is the truth that they know. The truth is if they started to care for their families, they would probably switch gears immediately and realize how wonderful their body feels and how wonderful their mind starts thinking and how great they would be advocates of a profession that they are trying to disband in a way with negative press. I mean, when you can't speak about something to believe in, that forces people to have to maneuver themselves in a different way, which I think, I could talk all night on that. And Randy John says, charge forward, Carrie. Tim McFadden says, I was 44 when I started and 48 when I graduated. Marcy says, I just got done home at work. I've got to drive home yet. And
focus on driving, Marcy.
Yes, you can watch the replay and comment all you want to later.
Yeah.
And McChesney Deal, hopefully I said that properly. She goes, I grew up in Mount Horeb. I'm so happy to hear about it being restored. It's a beautiful area. I can only hope to see it grow more. So that's about the Gonstead Clinic up there and Tom Potisk's work. And spreading the truth is so much easier when evidence combined with personal experience. Show them what they're missing and they'll never leave.
Absolutely.
So it's nice to go back and read the feed of what people are inspired to share with us, because I think that so many times when people do a live stream like this, they just focus on themselves and they focus on the person they're interviewing, and they don't realize the power and magnitude of sharing other people's stories within the weaving through our message together. And I think that kind of brings us up to the end of the talking points I had for you. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with us, or anything you might want to ask me?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Jim, I know you're so busy working all the time, and I know that you like getting out and exercising, but, you know, when you don't have your headphones on, I wondered what else it is that is another passion of yours.
So right now I'm studying copywriting. I'm studying how to become a better writer to where I can influence more people with the written word. I'm really interested in languaging, the language arts, things that most kids are pushed into when they're in school that they despise because it's pushed onto them, and they have to like focus on things that are not interesting to them. So as an adult, I'm looking into learning to be a better copywriter so I can communicate better with the chiropractic message to the people that need it, and being more of a force behind the written word or the typed word than just being a force of somebody that interviews people. And I'm looking to how we can eventually make books that are published by me, and figure out how to get more chiropractic truth out there. So that's one of the things I like to do. Hiking, as you've probably seen from some of my posts, I'm really into getting out and experiencing the Mother Nature that this beautiful earth provides to us, and getting vitamin D on my face and getting out to the sunshine and talking the tick on the trail as well is one of my favorite things to do.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. I just want to thank you so much here from Australia for everything you do. And even though you're all the way over there, you know, we can all connect with you on social media. So I think that's just amazing that you even in your time off, that your passion is still helping chiropractic. So that's amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you too. You know, it just means so much for me to be connected to so many great minds. And, you know, early on when a guy named David Tran interviewed me for Lux TV, he ran a YouTube channel interviewing people, and he interviewed me, and he asked me like a big question. He's like, so what is it that why did you get into chiropractic? I was like, because I believe that chiropractic is my university. It's where I go to learn. It's learning from the people like you. It's learning from guys like Tom Potisk. It's learning from Marcy McKenna. You guys are my colleagues, and you guys are the university students that are in my world. So my university is chiropractic. So I educate myself daily on something new, and I talk to people daily about their lives, and I become ever more woven into this chiropractic tapestry so I can become somebody that is a thought leader, and then a future leader, and then, you know, I don't know, if they make a president of chiropractic, I'll run for it.
Oh, that is so cool. It's got your title on there already.
Prez.
Yeah.
But, you know, thank you for also, you know, congratulating what I'm doing. It's tireless work. We just spent the weekend out in California at Cal Jam, basically building a political front for myself, getting more integrated with the the California Chiropractic Association, and meeting more people that are going to help, you know, just change the world, one voice at a time. But you have to be unified. And the chiropractic profession, even over in Australia, they have to quit shooting inward, and they can't attack each other. And you said early on in our conversation, one of the worst things is when chiropractors discredit each other. And it should break everyone's heart out there when a chiropractor attacks another chiropractor, because it's a responsibility of the chiropractic profession, because it has been so vilified for many years, to support each other, without a doubt.
Yeah, And that's what I hope to change. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but with your help and everyone's help, we just got to love each other. We're all here to try and help other people, so we've got to bond together.
Well, chiropractic has to go back to its premise of give, love, serve, and don't get into your own way with the ego, and don't get into your own way with a technique or school war, but get into your own way with more love. Get into your own way with more support, and get into your own way to understand that those are the things that will unlock the potential of the future of chiropractic.
Absolutely.
Well, Carrie, I know, what is it? Is it 12:30 over there, 12:08 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
And is it the 30th over there?
Yes, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday the 30th. And right now it is Monday the 29th at 7:08 p.m. here Mountain Standard Time. And I'll just send a quick send off for our sponsor of Pure Chiro Notes. If you guys want to get good EHR software that supports the membership style practice, and if you guys want more information on membership model practices, reach out to Dwayne Hoskins. He is Pure Chiro Notes. He runs out with Matt Musgrave. And I just want to say thank you for being on our student live stream. I know a lot of people are going to become more wealthy from the knowledge that you and I shared tonight, and all the shout outs that we've sent out to other people that were on this live feed. I'm just going to send out the last couple here. Kat Sarah says, leaders are learners. Tom Potisk says, we need more crusaders in chiropractic, passionate for the principle. And Randy John says, Jim, I don't hate the hustle. Always bring the best out of the best to the podcast. Speak up, love you, bro. And I think that might leave us out for our influence of communication tonight. But thank you so much, Carrie. I can't wait to meet you over in Las Vegas at the Chiro Sushi Summit. And if you do need anything in between now and then, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I hope to be your trusted resource. If you need any influence on marketing, anything that has to do with maybe starting your own podcast, if you have time for it, or doing anything that comes to promoting within your guys' bylines, reach out to me anytime.
I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a great afternoon, and I'll have a great night.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.